Rub the sun or lick the moon. Scoop up your sunlight and moonlight teas. Link is down in the description. Bruh, it's either or. You decide. Hello everybody, welcome to a Pokemon Sword and Shield video discussing and talking about the differences and who's better between Zacian and Zamazenta. I really want to talk about this because I want to get my thoughts out there. I just love talking about my thoughts and collecting them. So I do this for a lot of new generations always when it comes out. So I'm really excited to give you guys this video. So hit that like button down below, show your support, subscribe for more Sword and Shield content. Give me your thoughts down below on who you think is better, Zamazenta or Zacian. Obviously, I'm going to look at this with an objective approach. So I want to see like just who is better, not necessarily as an opinion who is better, like more along like just who overall is better. Like, you know, like there's just some Mon that are just better than others and everybody just agrees, you know? So we're going to go into it. First Mon, since I chose Shield, my launch copy, I'm Team Shield. You know what to do, baby. We're going to go over Zamazenta. And you can see right now on screen, here are his stats. Very solid stats. The thing is, though, is he has two forms. So it's kind of like, it reminds me of Giratina and the primal forms where they need to hold, what is it, an item? What is it, the rusted shield they need to hold in order to turn into this form here, the crowned shield form. Like his worn out, like tired form, he doesn't need to hold that item. I think you can slap, we're gonna check right here. Actually, I'm pretty sure you could just slap any item on it. Yes, we're gonna look on his shoulder like this too, because I like this. I'm pretty sure, like, there's the rusted shield, but at the same time as well too, I'm sure you could just slap on anything. BC shut on, here's the stats. Here's Zamazenta. I like it. He's faster when he doesn't have the armor, which makes a lot of sense because, you know, that armor is very heavy. But as you can see, like, he loses so much defense if he doesn't have the armor on. It goes base 115 in both stats versus with the armor on, it's base 145 in both stats. So that's actually higher than Aegislash in both stats, if you guys don't know that, because Aegislash got nerfed to where everything being 150 now in defense, special defense, is now 140. So he actually has more defense in both defense stats now than Aegislash in this generation. That's pretty cool, man. I mean, Aegislash is still like 5 points less than a legendary. Like, that says a lot. Kalos really snapped when they made Aegislash. But I'll talk about this guy. He's got 92 HP, 130 attack, very high attack. All of his stats are very good, except for special attack. It's obviously not that good. 80's not that good anymore. We're in a power creep meta, so 80 itself is just not that good anymore. I feel like maybe it might be decent now because a lot of the power creep mons are gone from this game. So it looks like we kind of went backwards. We have TMs that break now. Power creep kind of went heavily backwards now. No more Tapu Koko, no more Heatran, no more Lando, a couple mons like that. So maybe we're in the time where 80 is now considered deemable now. I don't know. But it's obviously his worst stat. I mean, you literally never need to run moves like Flash Cannon or Whisper. You never need to run that. He's fighting Steel when he doesn't have any of this on. You can see his stats right here. The only thing that really changes is the speed stat and the defense stats. That's the only thing that changes. He goes from 670 total to 720. Very good mind. He's like Lucario on crack. He actually is like Lucario on crack because if we look up Lucario here, if you look up Mega Lucario here, you can see his stats. 145 attack, 140 special attack, 112 speed. You see 130 attack, 128 speed. He's obviously faster than one, but Lucario can do special attack as well too, and with the lesser HP, it just, you know what I mean, it's adaptability. But regular Lucario is like regular Lucario, but on crack. I like it. It's solid. You can see most of the moves he learns here. He gets close combat, so it's solid. For whatever reason, he learns Moonblast. Now, I didn't expect him to learn that because Zacian's the fairy one, but I mean, hey, we take those, right? Make use of that 80 special attack. We take those, right? Obviously, just a level up. Not the greatest. It kind of reminds me of Darkrai, where he learns moves every 11 levels. Something like that. Well, it goes from every 10 levels, if anything, but it's by the 11s. So it's really interesting. You see the TMD can learn too. Can learn a lot of TMs. Who's doing a lot of coverage. All the Fang moves, dude. He gets Revenge too. Pretty solid. He gets both dual screens. He gets a lot, like I said, a lot. It's solid. I'm not going to front. The TRs he learns too are pretty solid too. Like, obviously he gets close combat, Flash Cannon, Iron Head. He gets work up too, so if you want some sort of setup, you can get that. He's got Wild Charge and Play Rough. So when I immediately saw Play Rough, I was like, all right, that's solid. You know what I mean? That is really, really good that he learns Play Rough. Obviously, Zacian having stab Play Rough is already a minus right now. Zamazenta does not have stab Play Rough. But the fact that he learns it enough is already saying a lot, because Play Rough is honestly such a really good move. It's so good. That typing is just so good. I don't know how I'm going to feel about Iron Defense. Maybe people run it, but at the same time as well, too, I don't know. VGC is really weird when it comes to running moves that are very different from singles, because I'm taking this to a very singles approach, since I don't really play VGC, but I play a lot of singles. So his defense can get really high with that Iron Defense, but overall, you don't really need it because you get a +1 defense boost with Dauntless Shield regardless. If you see here, it just boosts your defensive battle by +1. It's just so good. Like, you'll be able to take up so many attacks like that. You have the initiative where you can swap out and then swap back in. So that's just how Pokemon goes. You switch constantly, depending on typings, depending on coverages, depending on what's on the other side of the screen. So the fact that he gets Dauntless Shield already makes him such a solid mon, because that +1 or defense is really going to matter if he'll die from 30% and he'll actually just get KO'd versus living from 30% down to like 5% or 2%, something like that, you know? His typing defensively is solid. He resists a lot. He quad resists bug, as you can see. Type defenses. He's weak to fire, obviously. He's weak to fighting, and he's weak to ground. My dude quad resists bug, and he quad resists rock. So that's very, very solid. He quad resists rocks, so stealth rocks. Obviously, you don't need to worry about Stone Edge, but things like entry hazards can be pretty solid on. Obviously, not spikes, but entry hazards. He resists dragon, so that's pretty solid too. I can't front. He resists dark typing, and he resists steel typing. So all in all, really good defenses that he actually resists. I'm not gonna lie to you. The fighting type kind of hurts him though, because he doesn't resist psychic. So that's a little unfortunate. But at the same time as well too, he doesn't really need to worry about that. He already quad resists both bug and rock. So the fact that he quad resists entry hazards is already pretty solid for a tanky mon. And he quad resists, he resists dragon. So that enough says a lot. One of the most offensive typings in the game, he already resists. So that says a lot. I'm not gonna front with you guys. But no, he learns a lot of solid moves, man. Like, he learns solid moves, dude. Psychic things, if you want to run that as well too. Obviously, he's more of a physical attacker. He learns a lot of solid moves. Now, the unfortunate part here is he doesn't learn Swords Dance. That was me control F'ing it. He doesn't learn Swords Dance, and it's really unfortunate. It seems like his best setup here is really just work up. They really just made the thing just completely tanky. I kind of wish he learned Swords Dance, because him being a really bulky offensive attacker with a very solid speed stat is going to be saying a lot in the meta. Obviously, this is Uber's mon. There's no way in hell the thing is going to be OU. But it says a lot that a mon this tanky with really good HP stat, really good both defensive stats, solid resistances, you know what I mean? It says a lot. It says a lot as to what he actually could do. Obviously, the biggest things you're going to have to worry about is just really his weakness to ground and fighting. Fire typing isn't really too common. There's a couple mons that learn Flamethrower, but it's not the world's biggest thing. Like, obviously, we have Galarian Darmanitan is going to be around a lot. We have Gmax Thunder Scorch. But there's no Heatran. That's what I'm trying to say. There's no Heatran. So, that's a plus. But there's no Lando T. That's a plus for this guy. Like, already, he's got big pluses because of that. But I would be very interested to see how he would take on Landorus Therian form with that +1 defense boost, but no hidden power in the game means that he can't learn hidden power ice, because at base 80, I feel like it wouldn't be the world's worst thing to run hidden power ice for a Lando T. It wouldn't really be the world's worst thing, but they removed that move, so I hate to see it. But all in all, like, he learns solid coverage. He gets close combat and player that's solid already. He has Iron Head. His new move, Behemoth Bash. I don't think they have it on this website. I kind of wish they did. But his new move, Behemoth Bash, I'll probably put it on screen. It's a really solid move, dude. Like, that move is clean. Like I was talking about, Behemoth Bash, really solid move. I'm just gonna put it on screen. This is used becomes a gigantic shield and slams into the target. It deals twice the damage. The target is Dynamax. So that in all already is pretty solid, because I'm assuming in the Ubers meta, you're gonna be seeing I don't even know. Like, the Ubers meta is looking like the world's worst Dynamax mod right now will probably be Aegislash. So the fact that he already does double the damage, but Aegislash resisted, so it's not saying much. He resists both Zacian and Zamazenta. Aegislash does great against him, so it's not saying much, but I don't know. The fact that it does double the damage against Dynamax is pretty solid. And it increases damage by 100%. That's crazy, dude. That's actually insane, dude. It's also, sorry, no, this thing does not Dynamax. But all in all, really solid move. Base 100. You're not going to miss it. Physical move. Solid Mon, dude. Decent type coverage. I don't think he learns Earthquake. And that's one thing that's really going to be upsetting me. So I kind of wish that he did. Because he's a very big, heavy direwolf. So that's kind of unfortunate. Because it looks like the best way for him to even touch an Aegislash right now is Crunch. But King Shield. So, I mean, Aegislash is really hard to talk about. Because he bodies both of them. Like, it is well against both the Zacian and the Zamazentas. But, you know what it is. Overall, Zamazenta, solid Mon. Going over Zacian now, which I personally think is a threat to be reckoned with. Like, if you play Pokemon Shield, you're going to be having a harder time. I really feel like Pokemon Shield is the harder version. Look at these resistances. Look at them on paper. You look at Zamazentas, and then you look at Zacians. Look at that. Zacian has 2 typings that do neutral damage. 2, and he has an immunity. 2. That's just like, that's crazy. He has 2 immunities. And he has what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 typings that are neutral on him. So, it's just crazy, man. It's crazy to me, dude. This guy's cracked out. His Intrepid Sword, which boosts his attack the moment he comes in. So, look at these moves like a +1 Moxie. He comes into the stage with a +1 Moxie. So, I'm trying to put up words, guys. I also like his Natdex number better, 888. Clean, man. Clean. It's very, very cracked out Mon, dude. They have the exact same HP stat. But this guy's got 170 attack stat. 170. Obviously, his defenses are severely lower, but they're the exact same as Zamazenta with no armor. So, that's really more of a plus for Zamazenta with no armor. The fact that he's as tanky as a Zacian without his armor, but Zacian has more resistances. He's a better typing. Honestly, if you ask me, Fairy Steel is the world's greatest dual typing to ever come. Like, to ever come, dude. You look at every Fairy Steel that we have. Magearna, Mega Mawile. Am I forgetting one? I might be. Klefki. When Klefki first came out into the meta, very solid. Klefki for a Mon that all has decent stats. He has Prankster. Very god to that typing carries Klefki. If you did not have the typing, he would not be as good as he is. That typing very much carries him. But Fairy Steel is a carry typing. But I feel like with Zacian, it's still a carry type because of all the resistances he has. I mean, look at it. Quad resist Bug. He resists normal, flying, psychic, rock, dark, grass, ice, fairy. He resists himself. Obviously, he's, neutral to himself because Steel is super effective against Steel. So counteracts. But, dog, he's got 5 neutralities on him. He's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 resistances, 2 immunities, 1 quad resist, because Bug got a huge buff this game. Because a lot of good Bug types have come into the meta with Sword and Shield. So Bug got a huge buff this game. But wow. Wow, dude. Like, wow, man. All I can say is just wow. Like, wow. So you see his stats when he's not armored up. It's still 115. So I actually did not notice. It's still 115 when he's not armored up. For whatever reason, I thought that it'd be lower because he obviously gains armor. So you would think, right, that without the armor, his defenses should be lower. But they're not. Like, he clearly gets armor. Look at this. He clearly gets, if you look at this, he gets armor like around here, around his ears. He wears like a crown. Like, he obviously gets armor. But in his Hero of Mini Battle state, he has the exact same defense stat. So, if anything, it's just an upgrade. You have almost no reason to run the regular form. Unless you want to cheese with Choice Scarf. Because when they run the Crown forms and the Crown Shield, they need to be holding their items similar to Giratina with the Gristly's Orb. Or the Primal Forbs holding their orbs. They need to be able to hold those items. I feel like without it, though, they don't need to hold those items because obviously they're not in that state. But wow, dude. 170 attack stat with 148 speed? Dog, This is the best mon to first off, this is the #1 mon to come in this entire game. This is one of the best legendaries we've ever gotten. Literally ever. I think there's very few legendaries that are better. Obviously, both the primals, Mega Rayquaza, arguably Ultra Necross, but Ultra Necross is a take. That's arguable. That's debatable. But obviously, the primals, Mega Rayquaza, we're not really gonna count Hoenn. Hoenn just broke, but Ultra Necrozma could be debatable because this guy's typing is a lot better. Dragon Psychic, Ultra Necrozma just super cracked out Latios. This guy is ultra cracked out Magearna. Oh my god, Magearna and Mega Mawile are not in the game, but they may as well be. They may as well be. He has a +1 attack every time he comes in with that 140 HP and that 170 attack stat is cracked out crazy. Having 115 in both defenses with 92 HP, having 8 resistances and 2 immunities is saying a lot. That means he is super tanky, okay? Because 92 HP is really good. 115 in both defense stats with a typing like this, really good. Resisting 8 typings, really good. Like, I thought he'd be the frail one, but he's not. He's not. Like, it almost seems like he does everything Zamazenta does, but better. Obviously, Zamazenta is a lot tankier, like, on paper. But in actuality, this guy resists 8 typings and has solid HP stat and solid defense stat, so he's outspeeding almost everything in the game. He's a very fast mon. He's a very, very fast mon. Let's put into retrospect how fast this mon is. These are what Cerebee's, what is it? It's the 300 fastest Pokemon ever. Zamazenta is, or Zacian, sorry, is sitting at a 148. If you look at the fastest mons right here, he is right here. He's faster than Excelgor, but obviously not faster than Mega Alakazam, Mega Aerodactyl. But if they're obviously not in the game. Now there's Deoxys. I don't think Electro's in the game, or Pheromosa. It's just Ninjask. So in actuality, he is the 2nd fastest Pokemon in the entirety of Sword and Shield. Meaning that in the Uber's meta of Sword and Shield, Zacian is going to be outspeeding literally everything. Actually everything. Bar no Scarf Mons. Actually everything. And even then, actually everything, dude. The guy's cracked out. Going into his move pool, again, he has Stab, Moonblast, so I guess he can make some use of that base 80, but there's really no reason when he has base 170 attack stat. The guy gets close combat as well too. Stab, close combat, or not Stab, sorry. Stab, Iron Head, sorry, is what I meant to say. The fact that he gets close combat enough is already good. My dude gets Swords Dance, so that's really, really good. Amon this fast with his attack stat, having a +1 already, meaning after Swords Dance, he'll be at +3. That's crazy. He will always be at +3, regardless if you don't intimidate the guy. Again, like I said, decent type coverage. He has the Fang moves, which should be solid. He learns like Close Combat, Moonblast, Crunch. All pretty solid coverage moves so far. He learns Solar Blade if you want to run him on the Sun team. I mean, I guess, right? If you want to run him on the Sun team, because now we have Dynamax moves that can put up the Sun. So I guess it's really not that far-fetched now, is it? To be able to run specific weather-based moves, because I feel like we're going into Weather Wars V2, guys. I really do. He gets Air Slash for whatever reason. That caught me off guard. I wasn't expecting that, but I guess it makes sense because he's slashing the air as the sword. Go off. He gets Psycho Cut. Solid. I respect it. I don't think Zamazenta got Psycho Cut. He got moves like Power Swap, Guard Swap because he's a more defensive one. He obviously gets Swords Dance. He gets Agility too. For whatever reason you want to run that, knock yourself out. You really don't need to, but go off. My dude gets Iron Tail. I guess you want to get that defense drop. No real reason, again, like I said. Close Combat. Focus Blast. If you want to run like Blunder Policy, you could get that off. That'd be solid. But I mean, base 80, you don't really need to do that. He has Work Up, like I said, again. Could be solid if you want to run a mixed attacking one. Wild Charge, Player of Psychic Fangs. Dog, this guy's cracked, man. Obviously, he has the exact same move. His Behemoth Blade, like Zamazenta, which does double the damage to Dynamax moves. So I feel like Zamazenta is more of like a, I will take every move a Dynamaxmon does to me. And Zacian's like, I will slaughter every Dynamaxmon I see. So overall, guys, now that we're at the end of the video, it's clear, it's obvious. Zamazenta is, or Zacian's obviously the better mon. Like, obviously. Not saying Zamazenta is bad. Zamazenta is the furthest thing from a bad mon. He's actually really good. He has 2 quad resistance, which is solid. Like, he quad resists entry hazards, and he gets a defense boost. So it'll be really, really tanky. so he'll be really good. Like, he almost soak up almost everything in the game, but the fact that he's weak to moves like fighting and ground, I feel like, especially with everybody learning like close combat now, and everybody learning Mystical Fire now, I feel like that could be a problem depending on which Dynamax mon is out. Like Dynamax max ground moves, max ground shake or whatever it is, or max G Scorch or whatever it is. Like, I feel like that could potentially hurt him versus Zacian, where it doesn't really matter what he really has to take in, because he obviously will not be taking Dynamax moves as well as Zamazenta because he's not as tanky. But since he has more resistances, he might be able to get away with that. Obviously, he's stronger and faster, so it looks like he's just better at shredding things. Like, they both do different roles, but at the end of the day, Zacian is clearly the better of the two. He's a very powerful mon. He's easily one of the most strongest legendaries we've ever gotten. Like, if every legendary was here with Ubers, he would very much be a super top tier Ubers mon. Very powerful, very strong. Love this guy. I love them both. I do. Guys, let me know what you think down below. Hit that like button if you guys enjoyed. Scoop up the merch. Link is on screen right now in the description. If you guys want to get it up. Sales will be going on for a minute now. And let me know what you think down below. You think it's better? Would you like the video or not? You want to see more like this? And I will talk to you guys later.